Hey everyone, and welcome to Cozying Up with the Clear Cut, where we get up close and personal with women that inspire us. Like my best friend, Carly Grieve, who's here with us today. She is the CEO and president and founder and all of the above of Luxe Cartel, which is a premier online swimwear destination. And you can find all of the most beautiful, amazing bikinis at affordable prices at shopluxecartel.com. Yes. Thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Carly's nervous.
Yeah, this is my first podcast I've ever been on, and I really tried to get out of it, but Olivia doesn't take no for an answer.
Carly is one of my biggest inspirations in life, so I just really wanted her to be here and share her story with you because she's the first entrepreneur that I personally knew as my own friend, and she is a boss babe, and I wanted her to share her story with you guys, and I thought it would be a great opportunity for her to come on because she's always like kind of behind the scenes.
You are really buttering me up. But yeah, I do like to stay behind the scenes. So I'm definitely out of my element right now.
Also, cheers. Thanks to First Leaf for getting our buzz on. They are a algorithm-driven wine delivery service.
Whatever that
Isn't this good?
Yeah, it is good.
It's like a California cab. So, Carly, tell us a little bit about what is Luxe Cartel, what can people find on the site, and what inspired you to get into swimwear?
Okay, so we are an online swimwear retailer. So we're a multi-brand retailer. We sell like a bunch of different designer swimwear options, and then also like some select cover-ups and like related accessories, but primarily the swimwear.
And you have like some of the cutest bikinis. I get all of my bikinis on Luxe Cartel, obviously because I have the hookup, but like they also have the best stuff.
We do have some pretty good stuff.
And it's like not that expensive because like bikinis can be really, really expensive.
It depends. Some are more expensive than others. I don't want to like go out and say they're super affordable because like some of them aren't that affordable.
I think they're more affordable than others, and the ones that are expensive, you can tell the quality because I have invested in some of the more luxe pieces, and you can really tell the difference in the quality.
They range from around $100 for the set to about $300 for the set.
So, Carly, you started Luxe Cartel, though, not with swimwear, with actually like costume jewelry, right?
Yeah, so originally the concept was like a fashion accessories website that I kind of came up with when I was living here in New York, kind of right after college, like a year or so out of college, and I was looking for a change, and I like wrote up this like really laughable business plan. Like I actually wish I could find that because it was ridiculous, and I came up with that idea to do the accessories boutique. But then I
remember like when you had the costume jewelry and we were in my apartment and we were like modeling by like the windows, like so embarrassing.
I used to torture all my friends, and then like I'd like look through the photos and like, but why don't these look like a Harper's Bazaar like editorial?
Oh my god, it was like, so
my iPhone Olivia modeling, and
it was like an iPhone 5 or something.
So cringy. It's so cringy.
I'd be like, oh
yeah,
like with the jewelry and stuff. It was like very cringeworthy.
Whenever I was working with it, I had you were a good model.
Thanks. So you wanted to start it as an accessories boutique.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I started playing around with the idea of that. I wrote up a business plan, and then meanwhile, my then boyfriend, now husband, his sister was already a swimwear designer, and her stuff is really, really cute. It's still like one of our best selling.
Monse Swim, very good. They have the best bottoms. It doesn't give you like any like fat rolls or anything. Seamless fit.
They are very well known for the fit of their bottoms. They accentuate the booty, but they do not cut in.
Yeah, it's really good. It's one of my faves.
Right. So anyway, to this day, they're still one of our best-selling designers. And so anyways, I'm dating Devin. His sister was doing that. And I was like, these are really cute. I obviously want to put these on my website. Anyway, so I went on like that for a bit, and it was like a jewelry website that also randomly had like 5 bikinis.
What like inspired you to like start an online like boutique even? Like what made you think like, okay, like I don't like my job, but now I'm going to like start an online boutique?
So I was always interested in fashion, but I was not like cut out to be a designer or anything like that. So it was kind of a way to incorporate my like love of fashion while also finding fulfillment as a businesswoman. So that was that. And then I don't know if you remember this, but I kind of had like this weird like fascination with Sophia.
I was going to say that.
It's so like really embarrassing.
So at the time, it was like the heyday of like Nasty Gal and Sophia Amoruso.
This was before she wrote her book, and I used to like read interviews with her.
And she's still like an amazing businesswoman, but has transitioned.
No, totally.
But
now it's kind of like a cautionary tale.
No, she's transformed herself. Now she has like
for
girl
sure.
boss.
Like, I mean, she's still a badass.
And there was like this huge like what New York Times article, and I think we read it, and it was like all about how she like started this like nasty gal from nothing.
And she was a college dropout, and like,
and I think
it was a really cool story.
I got you her signed book.
I was about to say that for my birthday that year. Olivia got me a signed copy of Girl Boss, which was her book that she wrote. It was really nice. I still have it.
Because Carly was the girl boss because she was going to do what Sophia Amoruso did for clothing, but for accessories.
Yeah. So I was definitely inspired by her at that time. So I put Monse up on the site alongside the jewelry, but I still, like, in my head, it was like still an accessories website. And then kind of I had that aha moment, like I woke up like I don't know how long later, and I was like, oh wow, I'm an idiot. Like, we're not an accessories website. Like, no one cares about these accessories. I'm not making any money. The price point's so low. Like, it's not like generating enough income. Like, the swimwear that is like a higher price point, like this is like way more sustainable for me. And like, this is what the people are responding to, and it kind of made sense. And like, I'm from Miami, and it was just like a better fit, and it kind of transformed from there.
And then you guys did that for how long in your apartment in New York before you moved to Miami?
About a year and a half.
Yeah, I remember your office was like in a corner of your and Devin's bedroom in like
you can't see this, but it was like that.
It was really small. It was just like a little wall, and they like had 4 other roommates. Yeah. Like it was the
bad.
Typical like New York City like living situation. And she had like a little drawer with all of her jewelry and like a couple bikinis. And and I remember like coming over and like trying on bikinis for the first time. I was like, oh, these are so cute.
Yeah.
So when did you like start getting other designers onto the site, like, and transitioning to being like more of like a swimwear
So after
destination?
I like came to that realization, I started picking up like more and more swimwear lines.
How did you do that? Did you like reach out to them? Or?
I would reach out to them, and then like there are swim trade shows in Miami. Like, Miami Swim Week is primarily like a large trade show where you can source different designers and meet with them and view the lines for the upcoming year. So, but I mean, that was like one of the first things that I learned, is that just because you want a line and like maybe you have enough money to buy from them, they're like really selective about who they'll sell to, and like it's all this like club of like who's cool, and they want to make sure that they're being merchandised next to other brands that they think are cool, and like that your website looks the way that they want it to look. And so that was like a learning experience, but eventually like,
so like your first trade show, like who were the designers that were down to, you know, let you buy their pieces? Were you turned down by any big designers that you now have?
I don't remember who specifically turned me down, but I do remember that one of the first to like take a chance was Beach Riot, and they were like pretty big at the time. And I mean, they still are actually. And so they were like one of the first to like, and once you
Why do you think they
up,
gave you that chance?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, can't like put my finger on it. I sent them like, I don't even think like the website was like fully like functioning at that point. Like, I sent them like a mock-up of something, and they were just like, okay, like you can pull from our like immediate stock. I was like, okay, awesome. So, and then once you get one, then like another one will do it, you know, because then you have one cool brand, and then they're like, okay, well then I guess you're kind of
then it's way
legit.
easier.
And then it like snowballs. And then I remember like a big thing for me was like the first time that like Acacia sat at me front row at their like fashion show was like a big deal.
When was that?
That was probably like 2 or 3 years ago, and that was like one brand that like is difficult to get an account with. And then so like getting to that point, that was like a cool little
that's so cool. So how did people like start finding stuff on Luxe Cartel? Like, how did you get customers like eyeballs onto your site buying products?
I mean, mainly Instagram.
So like tell us a little bit about your Instagram strategy.
So this was like in the very beginning. You know, I feel like it was a lot easier to grow a following back then, like before the algorithm changed and people weren't like so competitive with it, and you didn't have to be like as strategic about it, and you could just write hashtags and just like other people's content, and it would happen kind of like naturally and organically. Now it's a little different. You have to spend a lot of money, but I think like one thing that differentiates us from other some of our competitors is that we really do invest a lot in the content that we put out there. And even though we don't like have as big of budgets as like these huge retailers, like we take the time and spend the money on like quality photo shoots, like booking like really experienced models, photographers, and all of that stuff, so that we have like really good content that is like our aesthetic, and branding is the most important thing.
What would you say like your aesthetic and like your brand, and like what is the vibe of the swimsuits that you curate?
I would describe it as elevated, but also edgy.
And what are your like some of your favorite pieces that you've ever sold?
Well, Monse, of course, is one of my favorites. There's like so many right now. We have one that's like really sparkly and fun. It's like a Christmas tree.
Oh,
almost.
I saw that. It's so cute. You used it on like your email blast, right?
Yeah.
It's really cute.
So that one's like one of my current favorites.
Do you know the name?
It is by an Italian brand called Osere. We actually just picked them up. That's also like a really fun part is like sourcing new brands. Like at first you really want to get like all the really well-known brands, and then it's kind of fun to like find like some smaller, more independent ones that are really doing like
and then
cool,
you can
unique
get
things.
like, and then you have something that other websites don't have, and you can also, you know, get visibility on these new companies.
Yeah.
So you're doing them like a favor as well.
Definitely.
Cool. So how do you differentiate from those big retailers online?
So my motivation has kind of always been to take that frustrating feeling when you're like on one of those huge retailers and there's like 1,000 pages to go through.
Yes, that's the worst.
Yeah, so I want to keep everything like super curated, super niche, and like kind of eliminate all of that extra noise that's like unnecessary. Like, a really
I think what's
frustrating
great
experience.
about Luxe Cartel is that it has like the best curation. Like I like to go on it just because I know everything there is going to be cute. So I don't have to like sift through a bunch of stuff that I know isn't going to fit me well or is going to be shitty quality, but that everything there is going to like have a nice cut, is going to have good material, and is cute. So I just kind of like have to pick what I like based on it. So that's what I think is great about Luxe Cartel.
Yeah, and that's like what we're trying to do. Like rather than going through 80 pages and maybe you like one thing on each page, we want to have like 10 pages and you like almost everything and you just have to pick like what your favorite one is.
Because like a lot of times I'll order bikinis. Well, I don't do this anymore, obviously, but like in the past when I have ordered bikinis on other sites and then they come to you and you're like, I look like I just pooped in my pants. Like this bottom
The
does
diaper
not
effect.
fit me well. And that's honestly like the first reason why I like started buying like mainly like Monse and all the other stuff on your site is because like you need like a nice fit to like if you're already gonna like put on a bikini. I don't know about like all of you, but I no matter like how much I'm in shape, I feel like a little bit self-conscious. So you want to have your bathing suit to like fit you well and like accentuate like the positives in your
sure.
body as much as possible and like hide the negatives as much as possible.
And that's why we're really selective about the designers that we carry and even the styles that we
Do
carry.
you
and
like
feel
test
that.
try on everything, or like how do you know if it's like fits well?
I do, and especially if it's like a newer brand. Like I've been inside the trade show and I've asked to put things on like inside of their booth, and like you're not really supposed to do that.
So you
but-
like get naked like in the middle of the trade show?
So they're supposed like a lot of the brands have models within the trade show that are standing there, and you're
But
like,
those-
try this one on. I want to see how it fits on the body, but then a lot of times they don't spring for a model in their booth, so then you're kind of just like looking at like it on the table and you're like no, and I'm like no, like I need to try this on, or you need to mail me a sample so I can try it on.
Yeah.
Or plus the model, you know how it fits a model
Model's
isn't
not
necessarily
how it's
how it's
gonna
going to fit
fit you,
everyone else. But you
exactly.
can get an idea of it.
Even
If it's
though
not
you-
looking good on the model,
Even
you
though
know it's
you
not gonna
look
good on
like a
anyone
little
else.
mini model.
Okay. No one
Carly
wants to
has like
see
a
that.
model body.
I definitely don't. I'm like 5'1".
But yes, exactly. Well, how it's gonna like fit on the model is not how it's gonna look on, you know, every other girl. So I think that's so important that like the fit is like key. And then that's like when you want to invest in a bathing suit that you're gonna wear like a
Right.
bunch of times.
Exactly. And like I feel like also like when nowadays, especially with Instagram, like when you're going on a trip, like you know that bikini's gonna get a lot of exposure on Instagram, first of all. And
Oh
then
my
second of all,
God.
if you're gonna be like half naked, you know that the fit needs to be perfection. Like any little thing you can do to make yourself feel just a tiny bit better is
you're,
so worth
you're
it.
working out for this trip. You're getting tan for it. You want to look good, and then you're gonna be like taken in this one photo. It better fit you well, because
Yeah.
like, and that's also the thing. You get photographed in this bikini, and that's why I have to keep buying more and more bikinis. It's a scheme. Because I'm like,
I didn't invent Instagram, although I wish I did.
I was like, I can't wear this. I love this bathing suit, but I have 3 photos in it now, and I can't ever wear it
I
again.
know, it's a problem.
But it's good for you.
Yeah. Well, it's a problem for everyone else.
So what are some of the coolest like new brands that have emerged that you've discovered from Luxe Cartel, and what are some of the trends that you've seen come and go in swimwear?
Okay, well, one thing that has become super popular, and it kind of like sounds hard to believe, is like this one size fits all type swimwear.
I have one and I'm obsessed with it.
So it's basically this crazy fabric. I don't know. It's like magic or something. It stretches from like a 0 to like a 10 or something like along those lines. So maybe not in one size fits all, but one size fits
a lot.
most.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just stretch, like it actually looks good and they're really cute.
So flattering.
And for me, it's amazing because for buying, like not having to size all of it, like I can just say like, I want 30 of these, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't have to be like 5 extra small, this, and then you're stuck with like a bunch of extra smalls and larges.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. So, I mean, that's been amazing.
And Hunza is like a brand that uses that you were one of the first people to pick up, right?
Yeah, so they've been around for a really long time, but they kind of had a resurgence. And that bikini, there's like this ruffle bikini that they had like a year or two ago that like sort of went viral. And I like kind of rediscovered it like right before that whole thing happened. And I was like able to get in on that. Like I was one of the first US based retailers to have that suit, which was the Tracy set.
It's like this really cute like bandeau with a little ruffle, and it was like on every single like influencer and blogger.
It went like super viral that summer. And after we picked it up and like that happened, like a bunch of other retailers picked it up, but that was kind of like at the tail end of its like popularity.
Yeah, she was before all the big box people had it.
Yeah, so that, I mean, we can be like more nimble since we're smaller, and like I can see something and like immediately pick it up. I don't have to like run it up the totem pole and like all of that when you have like a huge corporation and stuff. So that's nice. Like I'm able to like act on like my impulses and stuff like that.
So how do you like work with influencers? Like how has that contributed to like your brand? I know you have a bunch of them that have worn your suits. Like I've seen like Kendall Jenner wearing your suits and Kristen Bell and like a bunch of other people like that.
So a lot of times the brands are the ones gifting like those like A-list people, and then we're able to like repost those photos.
Something really silly.
Okay, I'll tell that story next. Okay. So a lot of times with those like A-list like actors and like Kardashians and stuff, that's like happening from the brand's PR agency sending off like gifting, or maybe they're paying, I don't know. And then we're like able to repurpose those photos. But then like within the influencer space, more like bloggers and stuff, we like have, okay, so we have sirens going again, but I'm just going to keep going because there's not that much battery left on the camera apparently.
Yeah, we got to keep going. We got to push through the sirens. Sorry, New York.
Banging on the horn.
Like people, New York can't be quiet. Sorry, guys.
Okay, but we do work with like a lot of influencers in the fashion space and like those bloggers, and we also get like a ton of people requesting like free gifting and stuff like that through like DM. Like my whole DM is filled with like
People requesting stuff.
people requesting stuff, and like unfortunately we can only work with like so many people at a time. We have to be pretty selective about it, just budget wise and stuff like that. But yeah, so
Have you seen like a really big spike with the influencers, or like has any like particular influencer helped you a lot more? Like any good stories around that?
so there's one influencer, she's like, you know, one of the really, really big ones.
Who is it?
I'm not saying.
Really?
Well, I don't know, because the story makes me sound like a stalker. So
Carly's a stalker. Like, whatever. We all got to stalk people. I stalked Kyle down the subway and I married him. So things work out.
okay, well, long story short, I was able to deduce from this person's Instagram stories like what building in New York that they lived in. And so I figured that out, and I just kind of like mailed off some gifting to this person, and they received it, and they probably assumed that like through PR I got their address and not through stalking.
So how did you know like what unit they were in?
Yeah, like more stalking.
Really? Like how? That's so scary.
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying.
Okay. Wait, you actually put the unit?
Yeah.
Or did you just put like the apartment and then they like figured it out? So like once that influencer posted, did you see like a huge spike or?
Yeah, we sold through like that, all the stock that we had of that bikini.
Damn.
And then I like, you know, reordered units from the designer and threw up like more units as a pre-order, and we sold through all of those. So yeah.
Wow. So it can help, and it's all about like the hustle and like figuring it out.
Pros are like pros, and then it's kind of like the nobodies who sometimes screw you over.
Oh, totally. Because I feel like a lot of influencers, at least that we've worked with, they're just influencing and just selling every part of their life that if they speak about you, it's just like a blip in the day. So
Right.
it doesn't really like make an impact. If someone really loves your product or, you know, it's
Yeah.
authentic, then people can like kind of see through that. And that's when it makes a difference, right?
Like, yeah, because like for example, that blogger, or like even like some of like the girls from The Bachelorette that I've worked with, and
Yes,
like,
me
they
too.
actually request product and we send it to them, and they can obviously charge like thousands of dollars for a post, but in this instance, they just wanted the product and like they actually posted about it, and those end up doing the best when it's like
Same.
an organic thing that they actually love, because the things they actually like are the things that their followers are actually going to really like.
Yeah. And that comes through when people like authentically love of your product, whereas you're just selling like God knows what.
And I've always had more luck with like when it's just like pure gifting rather than like paying for a post. Like, and the bigger influencers, they'll like do you a solid, you know, like they're not. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah.
So your husband and Devin and his sister are also in the bikini business, but they run their own swim line, which is Monse, which we've talked about. So how does that kind of fit in with Luxe Cartel?
Okay, so this kind of confuses people. A lot of people
Yeah,
think
it's
Devin
very
and I
confusing.
like work together, or I work for him, or he works for me or something. And so like I'm here to set the record straight.
Yeah, we're here to set the record straight.
So a year or two after I started doing Luxe Cartel, Devin, as I said, he was kind of supporting me. He was a CPA. He was the one with like a steady job. And whatever we decided, or he decided, that we were going to leave New York, go back to Miami, and he was going to partner with his sister, who's a swimwear designer, because like she was doing well and she needed his help. And it was pretty scary at the time, honestly, because I was the one who was supposed to be like doing like my thing and following my dream, and he was supposed to be doing the opposite
Supporting
of that.
you.
Yeah. But in the end, like, I mean, we never looked back, and they're killing it. So
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
it's
killing
been
it.
the
They're
best thing.
huge.
Yeah, but I mean, and it's also amazing because he really understands my business, even though we don't work together the way you and Kyle work together, like every single day.
But you work like with each other a lot.
Right, exactly. And like he like actually has like a really deep understanding of what I do, and like can help me strategically, since I don't have like a ton of help. And so it's actually been like the best thing for us.
Yeah, you guys are like a bikini power couple.
Yeah, so we're like a walking Miami cliche.
Yeah. Which is totally fine. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
it works for us.
I'm like, I have these really cool friends in Miami, and they work in bikinis, and they are bikini entrepreneurs, okay?
Yeah. That's us.
Yes.
We're the bikini family.
Yeah, that's so cute. I can't wait for the little baby line.
Little baby bikini.
Yeah. Oh my God.
family.
Can't wait.
Yeah, coming soon.
So, Carly, we always ask all of our guests what their spark is. So I know you pretty well, but I don't know. What is your like spark, like your motivation that keeps you going, that like makes you want to like go to work every day, do what you do, like even when it's kind of like sucky and, you know, not fun.
You know, obviously I like playing with cute bikinis, and I like doing photo shoots and all of that stuff, but really just like growing the brand itself and the company itself has been like my biggest passion. Like it's my baby, like just the business aspect of it, and like putting hard work into something and actually seeing it pay off. I mean, a lot of times you put hard work into something and it like doesn't
pay off,
and those
yeah.
are like the terrible days where everything's like opposite day. But just
That's when
that
Mercury's
is,
in
like,
retrograde.
the honest answer is that.
So we always gift all of our guests a spark ring, which is your daily reminder
so
of
pretty.
your, you know, motivations, your passions, and you can kind of look down and be like, okay, I can keep going, and your hustle.
Olivia has a lot of bikinis from Luxe Cartel, but I also have a growing collection of the clear cut pieces.
Oh my God, Carly was the
Devin's
OG.
not happy about it.
Carly was the OG clear cut couple. She was my first ever clear cut couple. So this is the perfect transition from spark to sparkle.
Yes.
So
And we could talk about that.
yeah. So tell us. So you brought like a piece of jewelry that is sentimental to you. What is that?
Okay, well, I have two pieces. Obviously, my engagement ring is my most important piece that I wear every day, and I
Which
love my
is
husband, and I love Olivia.
Which is the OG clear cut ring.
Yes, and my wedding bands are also both from the clear cut. I
She's
was
just-
also a bridesmaid in Olivia's wedding, so I got gifted.
She
my-
has
what's this one called?
our petite bezel pendant, a bestseller, and a great piece to wear
Actually,
every
two
single
of them.
day. I know, I made both of them. So
Yeah.
one actually was a diamond that was an heirloom from your grandma, and we put it in a bezel, and the other one was our petite bezel. And she layers it beautifully and wears it every single day, right?
I do. Actually, I wear both of them every day.
Amazing. And what's your other piece?
Okay, so I actually brought this
Ooh, I love that.
family crest ring, and the
You have a
crest-
family crest? That's fancy.
Yeah, exactly. So actually,
Jewish
this-
people have family crests?
They don't, but I guess we were like pretty important back then, or my ancestors were.
Back when?
In like the 15 and 1600s.
In, like,
that's how far
Poland?
back the crest goes. No, this is actually from like Spain and Portugal area
Oh.
before the Spanish Inquisition, when we were like driven out, and that's when we went to the Netherlands. So this is like a little piece of like family history,
That's really cool.
and it's actually pretty cool looking.
It's like a cool piece.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly what
And
all the
signet rings are
symbols mean.
so in now. So who gave that to you?
My dad.
Awesome. Did Stephanie get one?
So yeah, me and my sister, my dad also has one. He wears on his pinky.
Cool.
And yeah, everyone in my family has those.
That's awesome. That's a really good piece.
Yeah, I figured it was a good conversation piece.
It's a very good conversation piece. Yeah. And when people see it, do they ever like ask you about it?
I don't wear it that often.
You
'cause it's pretty
should.
Chunky. Yeah, I guess I should.
It looks good with all your other
But
stuff.
yeah, my sister actually has a tattoo of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
We were gonna get them together, but then I didn't do it.
You chickened out?
I mean, I didn't like go with her and then say I wasn't gonna do it and didn't do it, but I told her in advance that I wasn't. She was like, well, I'm still gonna do it.
Because you have just that one tattoo.
I have no tattoos. Zero.
Carly got this tattoo when she was like 16. It's like of this little heart with a dove and on her hip, and I think
Olivia's confusing me with somebody else.
it's really cute.
Oh yeah.
So, and I know you're obsessed with like emerald cuts and stuff now. You always want to try on my eternity band, right? Because that's going to be Carly's push present.
Yes.
Next year when Carly has a baby.
Well, don't jinx me.
Okay, no, I won't. That actually was bad. I won't jinx it, knock on wood. But or just a great anniversary gift. But I also got you emerald cut studs because I know you like those.
Ooh. Those will be my 30th birthday present.
Oh, that's coming up soon.
Sure is.
These are 1.5 carat each.
We're plotting on Devin.
Devin's in for it.
Yeah.
Is this a good size? I know you wanted fat ones, but I feel like these are good for
pretty
every day. Yeah.
I don't put them on, do I?
No, but you can kind of look at them.
Yeah. No, I actually really love these.
Those are cute for every
These are
single
1
day.
carat?
1.5
1.5
each.
carat.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it's like not that much money, Devin.
No, it's fine. We'll talk later.
I love them.
Yeah, so these are great. I
So
think these
fun.
are like cool for every day because like they are a little different than I know you wanted like emerald cuts instead of round. So
Yeah.
you just need to make sure they like face the right way because they can turn to the
Olivia
side.
and I have almost the same ring size. I think my finger
No,
might
Carly-
even be a tiny bit smaller than
I have
hers.
very small hands. I have a size 4 ring finger, but Carly has the smallest fingers. She's like a 3.5, and then like with balls in her ring and everything.
That's true.
I was like trying to like put on her ring when I was sizing, and like I was like, I'm not even gonna put this on. It's like so small. But then none of your friends can try on your ring.
And they can put it on like their pinky sometimes, yeah. I think when Devin originally got the ring from you, he didn't know my size, and he got a size 5, and we were in Santorini, like when he proposed to me. I had like Band-Aids on the inside.
Tell us about your proposal story. I love this story. Wait, so Devin got the ring from me, and they were literally like the first people I knew that were getting engaged because they got engaged so young. They
I
were
was
like
a child bride.
She was like 24. But they were going on Birthright, which is like this trip to Israel that like Jewish kids go on, that we all go on, and it's free. And you like basically like hike through the desert at a certain point. And then they were going to go to...
Only Devin would think it's a good idea to like
and
intertwine those two things.
And then they're going to Greece right after. He was like, it would be great to propose in Greece, but then he'll have to like carry this diamond around this like trek around Israel. So he kept it in like...
he borrowed this like really embarrassing dorky belt from somebody's dad. I think he borrowed it from, and it had a pocket on the inside of the belt where you could like hide a ring. And so
why did they make that belt for like cash?
Yeah, for that, so that you like when you're traveling, you don't get like pickpocketed or something.
Were you like, Devin, why are you wearing such a dorky belt?
Well, that, and he had it like the ring box, I guess, when we weren't like, it was like in his laptop case, and like we're like leaving the bus. You're on Birthright. You're like on these coach buses, and we're like leaving the bus. Devin's like, I'm gonna bring my laptop case with me. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about, you weirdo? Everyone's leaving their stuff. Like, you're embarrassing me. Like, stop it. But you know, little did I know. He's like, I'm just gonna bring my briefcase on this hike. I'm like, what?
So he schlepped it around Israel for like 2 weeks, and then you go to Greece, and his luggage gets stolen or like lost.
Yeah,
right?
his luggage was lost, but it wasn't in the luggage. But he had no clothes. Like, he was wearing the same thing for 3 days. And he wouldn't stop complaining about it. I was like, Devin, who cares? We're in Santorini. Like, let's make the best of it. We'll buy some new clothes. And he was like, not having it. Like, he wanted everything to go perfectly. Obviously, I was clueless.
So how did he end up proposing?
So he ended up proposing to me in Santorini the second night that we were there, because the first night he was in such a bad mood.
He was like all dirty in his old clothes.
Yeah. So the second night we went to like a really nice dinner, and then we came back, and they were supposed to kind of put like flowers all over the room so that like when I got there I would like kind of realize what was happening. Like, it would be obvious.
Did you think you were gonna get engaged? I know you told me that you were there, and Devin's like, you're not getting engaged on this trip.
Okay, so I had started pressuring Devin, because that's what I do, like around that time. Even though we were like super young, I just still took that opportunity.
We were
to
at
start
like
pressuring
brunch right
Devin.
before you guys went on your trip, And I had already made the ring and Devin had it. And Carly would be like, don't order that drink. That's for my ring fund.
No, that's not exactly what it was. He was doing that joke to me. Every time he would buy something, he would tell me it was coming out of my ring fund, like kind of just to fuck with me, I guess. Can I say fuck?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, because he already had the ring and I was like still pressuring him, but I had like no idea. I thought it would like take him a long time to even come around to the idea and then to save up for it. So I was like, I need to like start being really annoying.
Yeah.
So I did. And so he took that opportunity to like always make fun of me in front of all of our friends. Like every time he was like buying something, he would say it was coming out of my ring fund, like kind of just to make
So
fun of
you
me.
were like surprised because you didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming, and even before we left on the trip, he was like, he was actually dead serious. He was like, you know, we're going to Santorini. Like, I know, like, we've been talking about getting engaged, and I just want you to know, like, I'm working on it, but it's not happening on this trip. Like, I don't want your trip to get ruined, and, like, you think it's coming, and it doesn't happen. And so, like, I took that at face value. I already didn't think it was happening, and then, like, I really didn't think it was happening. I was like, okay, there's definitely no chance. Like, cool, whatever. And then it did. So I was really shocked.
So you got into the room and there were no flowers?
No, there was flowers, but it was just like a bouquet. So like I was like, oh, like Devin got me flowers. Like it wasn't like rose petals everywhere and you know something big is happening. Like it was just like a bouquet like on the table.
It's funny that when there are rose petals everywhere, it means like something big's happening.
I mean, I guess. I think I would have known a little more. Like I wouldn't have just think Devin got me flowers.
Yeah. And then he got on one knee and what did he say?
Okay, so I basically blacked out.
Everyone blacks out. I
Yeah.
blacked out too.
And I put the ring on the wrong hand and we took like a million pictures and sent it to my family.
You sent me a picture, I remember, and I was like,
Yeah.
is that on our right hand?
But then the next morning, like we had this little cute photo shoot with like
Yeah.
our robes, and like that was the picture we put on Instagram.
Head to the Clear Cut and go to couples and check out the first couple because you can see
That's
all
me.
their photos and read their story. And yeah, it was like a size 6 or something, so it was like falling off you. I
And
can't
we
believe you were
going-
wearing it.
We were going like on this catamaran trip the next day, but I like still really wanted to wear it because I was like obsessed with it and I had just gotten it. So I like put Band-Aids like rolled up on the inside and like swam like this. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but it was really funny.
Oh my God, that's so
Yeah.
funny. So yeah, the OG Clear Cut couple. Oh my God, I love that story. So thank you so much for stopping by.
you
I'm
for
so
having
happy.
me.
Oh my God, she came all the way to New York for this.
I did.
She's
for
a
my
good
best
friend.
friend. She didn't bully me at all.
No, not at all. I'm not intimidating. Thanks so much for coming by. This was awesome. And
Thank you
like,
for having me, and I love my new ring.
yay! And if you want to follow Carly, it's at Carly Grief and Lux
Carly.Grief.
Oh, if you want to follow Carly on all her personal adventures, it's Carly.Grief. But you have to check out Luxe Cartel. It's at Luxe Cartel and it's shopluxecartel.com. And if you want to see the beautiful jewelry we were looking at today, head to our YouTube. It's at The Clear Cut. And of course, follow us at The Clear Cut. And thanks for tuning in and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.